What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast for another episode of Black Friday. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another Black Friday episode. Before I get started, I want to let the listeners know that we have a special guest today in the house with us. She's 3 years old, so you may hear in the background. She's here visiting Animal.
Forget you.
So, again, if you guys hear anything in the background, that's just our special guest. But today's topic, black men and their sensitivity. This is something that you rarely will see in a black man, in my opinion. It's rarely displayed, and I can't speak for all black men. I myself do feel that I am a sensitive person, and looking at me, you wouldn't figure that to be as such. You guys believe or feel that black men tend to hide their sensitive nature, and if so, why do you think that would be a reason for us to hide our sensitivity? Comedian 96.
Okay. First of all, if you open up to a woman with your problems and your sensitive things you want to talk about, she'll probably be screwing your best friend tomorrow.
Taking advantage of your sensitivity?
Yeah, she won't. Once you open up like that, too, I think that you're looked at differently. Once you open, it's hard for a man to really open up and get sensitive about a certain thing. If it's not death, if it's not somebody dying, and even with that, you better hurry up and straighten up.
Okay, now you said if you open up to your woman,
yeah.
If you're married, it's a problem opening up to your wife.
I think if
you feel that she'll be, doing your best friend too.
I think that if you mope too long, or like I said before in one of my other shows, sit in your own shiggity for a long period of time, you will be looked at differently. I honestly think that you will be looked at differently.
But looked at in a bad way?
Yeah, the respect level can decrease.
Just because you're displaying some sensitivity, you feeling.
Well, as men, that we're not technically supposed to be sensitive, but that's the way it is, man. I'm just being honest.
And you're going based on just how you grew up, I'm assuming.
Not how I grew up, just how it is. You open up to a girl and talk about your problems if you want to.
No, I'm saying you're saying men are not supposed to be sensitive.
We're not. Yeah, that's the best way for me to put it. I don't know no other way to say it, but we supposed to hold things to ourselves. We're technically not human. We are just providers. Shut up and bring the check. You know how they say shut up and dribble? Yeah. Shut up and bring the check home.
And again, I'm saying you're basing that based on how you grew up. What you saw on TV or there's no book that says this is how men are supposed to be.
No, there isn't. But you cannot. I hate to say it. You can't open up the way you want to a woman on some certain things. Like I said, death, somebody dying or something. Yeah, but anything else. Oh, I had a bad day at work. My boss ain't listening to me. You better not come home with that. Or let me see what else. I don't know. My friend. I don't know. Just you can't get sensitive as a man. I hate to say it, it's just the way it is.
Okay.
Exactly. The only thing that's expected, like he said, it's not expected for us to show emotion. What's expected of us to crash out, ready to fight.
Right.
That's normal. That's the reaction that's normalized, so to speak.
So that's pretty much the opposite of being sensitive, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
So this is what.
Well, no, yeah, no, it is. Go ahead.
So because we're not, I don't want to use. I'm not. I can't remember the word that you used. You said you didn't say allowed. It's just we're not expected to be sensitive. We're expected to be the opposite of that, which I can't think of the correct terminology for opposite of sensitive. But you're saying that black men are expected to be the opposite of sensitive.
Violent. Violent, for real. That's what's expected, and it actually normalized. And you would. I could actually hear people saying, "I understand why he did that." In my head, depending on the scenario, I'm putting all kinds of scenarios in my head.
Right,
so.
and there could be a whole bunch of scenarios to where I feel it is okay for a black male to be sensitive, death not being the only one. And in the first scenario you used in regards to being sensitive with your female, because I do feel that may help your relationship by showing that sensitive side to your mate. Do you disagree? Well, I know you disagree, Comedian 96. What about you, Freddie G? Do you feel that being sensitive to your mate, and I know you're the only married person on the panel, so your opinion may be based on your marriage status, but I want to ask you in general if you feel that, being open and honest with your mate and showing that sensitive side, if that would do more hurt than benefiting you.
Okay, so first of all, I don't want to turn this into a Women Wednesday show, but I think that being sensitive to I disagree with Comedian 96. I think that if you open up and being a little bit more sensitive to your mate, I do think that would help in regards to a more emotional connection. Now, black men as a whole with sensitivity, I agree with Slash. When it comes to
where we grew up.
It's just unfortunate that as a black man, we're kind of taught that we need to bottle up our emotions and we can't show any weakness, and we associate weakness to sensitivity when we shouldn't be doing that. Because if you're bottling up these emotions, then eventually it's going to blow. And when it blows, that could be bad for the person or the people around you. That can also be bad for your own health when you're holding all that stuff in. That's why now, K Money, you may recall this. This is a while ago. K Money. You know what? Let me not get into detail with that. Let me just say this. There are a few individuals that I actually, when I need to have man talk, I have man talk with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, but every male can't get my man talk or can't get man talk from me, meaning that I initiate the man talk, because everybody, when you're initiating man talk, that means that you have to let the walls down. Right. That means that you have to be a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you're afraid of, and when you're having that man talk, you got to be having man talk with somebody that understands it versus somebody that hides their sensitivity.
Right.
Now, a person that knows me know that, okay, well, you're welcome to have man talk with me because I'm going to reciprocate. I'm going to be understanding to what you're needing as a man.
Right.
But there are a bunch of men out there that need to have man talk, find a man to have man talk with. Mm-hmm. Not nobody that's going to agree with you.
Right.
Somebody that's going to tell you what's right. Somebody that's going to listen to you. Somebody that's going to give you positive and proper feedback, even if it may hurt.
Right.
And those are the individuals that, as men, we need to surround ourselves around those individuals. So I know I got a little long-winded,
No,
K
you
Money.
good. You good.
I got a little long-winded on that, but I do believe that being a little bit more sensitive when it comes to your woman and opening up a little bit more, I think that could actually help the relationship. Especially women are sensitive, so sometimes we have to be sensitive to their needs. So, but on the flip side of that, a woman needs to be able to be sensitive to your needs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And not so much as what you could do for me, or not so much as sexual or food or whatever the case may be, cooking or whatever. But sometimes, man, I just need somebody to talk to. Or sometimes, man, you know what? Slash said something that hurt my feelings today. So let me go and talk to my lady. And you know what? Slash said this to me today. I didn't tell him, but he hurt me. You know, and then, I may want to go back and say, and she may tell me, you know what, babe, you just need to have a talk with Slash. And then I'm like, hey, man, you remember last Tuesday when you said X, Y, and Z? Man, that kind of hurt my feelings. And then Slash be like, get over with me with that punk ass shit. I just like,
That's a great.
nah, but y'all get my point.
Yeah, great point, Freddie G. Were you about to say something, Comedian 96?
No.
Okay.
I was just laughing.
I have a list of traits that it says that we could be sensitive by exhibiting these traits, and I want you guys just to let me know if you agree or if you disagree, if this makes us sensitive or not. Being deeply empathetic. I think this kind of falls up under what you just said, Freddie G. Being if our spouse or other half is being sensitive, us acknowledging their sensitivity. That's somewhat being empathetic to how they feel. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. You used the word deeply.
Yeah, being deeply empathetic.
So I don't. So when it comes to saying being deeply empathetic, in my opinion, if you're empathetic, you're empathetic. I don't think you can go deep, be deeply empathetic. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. First of all, empathetic and sympathetic are two different things.
Correct.
Right? And so if you're having empathy with somebody, that means that you can you've been there.
You relate.
And you can relate to what they're going through or what they've been through. So if you're empathetic to someone and you can relate to it, that means you kind of been through it yourself. So you're kind of pulling from what you've already been through.
Yeah.
To give them the proper feedback, because you're pulling from where you've been to give them the proper feedback. So I don't think you could be deeply empathetic because you're pulling from yourself to give them the proper feedback, if that even makes sense.
It does, and I appreciate you sharing that with me, with us and our listeners. The next trait, readily picking up on subtle cues in others. I'm not sure what that means. If you guys have any examples on what that, and I'll repeat it. Feel free to give example. If not, I'll move on to the next one. But that again was readily picking up on subtle cues in others.
So when you're using that in the standpoint of signs of being sensitive, that's what
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I don't agree with that being a sign, but I think that if you're able to pick up on cues from others, I think that's just being just attentive, very attentive to what's going on with your surroundings and the people who are around you. And so you're able to pick up on little things that may be bothering them, in the realm of giving that as an example of being sensitive. So if a person around you is going through something and you say, well, damn, not to pick on you all the time, Slash, but damn, Slash looking a little sad today, or Slash is not his usual jovial self today. And I picked up on that, but nobody else around me picked up on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a cue to being sensitive or overly sensitive. I just think that you are aware of your friend.
And that's actually a good trait, I think, to be able to pick up on, because that means that you can read the room, not just your friend. You can pick up on others. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't know him, you can kind of see, okay, well, he looked like he up to no good. You know, so I think that's actually a good trait to have. You know, it's something everybody don't have it, but I think it's a good trait. I mean, I wish that I was able to read the whole room sometimes.
Well, I agree with you, Freddie G. I don't really think that that's a trait that describes us or shows that we have or that we're sensitive or have sensitivity. The next one, experiencing emotions intensely. I can see where that can show some sensitivity, especially if you're emotional. You know, men definitely don't like to cry around people. When we shedding tears is when we're by ourselves.
Or playing dominoes or something like that.
Well, that's Comedian 96 speaking for itself. But yeah, that definitely, in my opinion, can show a trait of being sensitive by being emotional.
Yeah, but read it again. You said experiencing
emotions intensely.
Now, here's the thing. Like, when you say intensely, that tells me that person can't control their emotions. You can be emotional under control. So if you're at a funeral, let's use this as an example. A person at a funeral. And sometimes, I know we've all witnessed this. You've seen people at a funeral who's sad and they cry.
Right.
They're under emotional control versus a person who's at the same funeral. They're emotional. They're shouting, storming out, want to jump in the casket and take off running down the aisle, do 12 flips. Oh, take me, take me, take me. That's intensely.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, that's it. That's intense, over intense, actually.
Yeah, so I believe that you can be emotional under control. And you can be, and that is, so in regards to sensitivity, K-Money.
Well, I feel like you can remove the word intensely and just be experiencing emotions, and that shows sensitivity.
Yes.
You know, so I do agree that you know, you don't have to have necessarily be intensely emotional, but it definitely displays a sign of being sensitive, in my opinion. The next one, feeling easily overwhelmed by strong stimuli.
Well, okay.
Feeling easily overwhelmed by strong stimuli.
Now, you know that it depends on how you look at it. Because if you bust a nut,
I hope you're not overly.
and you feeling that stimulation, and you go, ooh. So
I can't even visualize a guy crying after doing that and what the female would think.
Oh, he out of there.
He ain't getting no more of that.
So, Comedian 96, what they think when you do that?
Man, you tell me. You know better than me.
Okay, this one, in my opinion, kind of falls up under the umbrella of an earlier one that I mentioned, being highly attuned to the feelings of others. I feel like this is kind of what you were saying earlier, Freddie G, in regards to being attentive, and when you use Slash as an example, saying, you know, you picked on how he was feeling. Yeah, I feel like this kind of falls up under that umbrella.
Yeah.
But empathy. Reacting strongly to criticism. I don't think that shows a trait of being sensitive, in my opinion. Reacting strongly to criticism, I just think you're a person that doesn't take criticism well, but that doesn't make you sensitive.
Well, you know what? It can, depending on how you're viewing the word sensitive. See, because if you're viewing the word sensitive and you're visualizing tears, then I don't think that makes you sensitive.
Well,
but if you're,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but if you can't take criticism, and that person's getting angry, and they can't control their emotions because of anger, then they're sensitive to criticism.
But then that could be some self-esteem issues there also,
I
depending
agree.
on what the person criticizing you about.
When you mentioned tears in regards to being criticized, Freddie G, then I kind of reconsidered. I'm not going to say it makes you 100% sensitive, but it is a slight percentage of some sensitivity if you are strongly reacting to some criticism, whether it be constructive or not. I have to, like I said, I try to defense with that one. Showing a strong connection to nature and animals.
We got some animals. that
Okay,
show a
Comedian
strong
96,
sense
I'm
of
sure
nature.
you can speak to
Nah,
that.
I don't know nothing about animals or none of that. So I don't know. Dogs and cats, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if that makes Freddie G, myself, and Slash sensitive just because we deal with you on a weekly basis. But you know, I'm a fan of animals, and I did mention earlier that I am a sensitive dude. So, I like you, Comedian 96. All right, the next one. Being particularly affected by injustice. It sounds familiar.
I don't think that has anything to do with sensitivity.
I don't know.
Injustice, you're fed up.
Yeah.
I think that if you're affected by injustice, wrong is wrong, and you
Right,
can
right.
get fed up.
Period.
Facts. I agree with you, Freddie G, on that one.
We know a lot about that in the black community.
Right. Right. And having a keen awareness of their own emotions and emotions of those around them.
Yeah, so you have to know how to be in control of your own emotions, because the wrong emotion from you can feed off to somebody around you, because most people feed off of emotions. I mean, we humans, that's what we do. We feed off emotions, especially when it's a direct communication with you. There's some emotions being transferred there. And I think it's important to understand your limit of emotion, in order to keep the person near you reaching their limit of, emotions when it's an argument type of thing, because that's how stuff happens. You never know what somebody feeling or what they're going through, and their emotions may be raging more than yours on that day. So you have to kind of control your emotions. You have to be in control of your emotions in order to keep the room under control. If you are in that room, you can kind of control what's going on in there.
I appreciate that, Slash, and I agree with you. I saw a post earlier this week, man, where this lady was saying how she definitely is into sensitive guys, so much so that she'll even date a gay dude, just because she knows he's sensitive. And mentioned how she wouldn't be surprised if somebody that she's dated in the past turned out to be that way. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, if she's into dating a gay dude, it's strictly for.
Well, let me rephrase that. Not into dating gay dudes again.
No,
Okay.
She's open to
Yeah.
dating a gay dude. So here's the thing with that. Number one, either she is looking for just an emotional connection only, or number two, she's bisexual herself, and she's or gay or into swinging and all of that stuff. Because if you're trying to be in a relationship with a man that's gay, I mean, come on, man.
What's the point in that?
Other
What's the
than
point?
emotional connection.
So she's just looking for an emotional connection.
Right.
So I can see, and then a gay dude wouldn't want her sexually if he's all the way gay.
Exactly.
He wouldn't want her sexually. So if that's the case, y'all could just be friends.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Freddie G. That's just more of an emotional connection than a romantic one.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't, and I looked at the video a couple of times because it just caught me off guard that she would make a video of such. But it is what it is.
And believe it or not, though, it's people probably just like that.
I agree.
It's people like that.
I totally agree. That brings me to our black fact you can't take back. And the black fact for today is Ralph Tresvant, lead singer of the hit group and one of my favorite groups, New Edition. Ralph had a solo project that he released back in 1990. And one of the singles off of this, I think the title of this album was Sensitivity. And this was also a single that was released off over there. And Ralph was pretty much letting guys out there know that, these females want a guy that's sensitive and try to make it okay. And it was okay for a period of time while it was out, to be sensitive, I guess, while that song was out. But Ralph Tresvant is our black fact you can't take back. Appreciate y'all listening. Come back next week. Peace. This concludes another Black Friday episode. And be sure you tune in next week for another dope episode of Music Monday with Slash. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast.